But what do you think about the real estate professionalism in this country?
Needs a lot of improvement.
So we're seeing a lot of corrections right now, especially for the mid-income segment.
So today we got invited to this real estate event by City Reb. It's the City of Taguig Real Estate Board. We're gonna go and find out what the industry trends are today. Let's go check it out. I recently made a video about a potential condo crash in Manila that went viral. I pointed out the problems that were clear to me, but I didn't say there's going to be a crash for sure. But then a lot of content creators started talking about a condo crash in their videos. And some of these guys have no real estate expertise. So I decided to just go find out from real estate professionals and experts to find out what they were seeing firsthand. Let's see what they really think is going on in the market for 2025. So I'm really excited to learn from other real estate professionals in here in Taguig about what the next opportunities are in 2025.
2020 to 2024, it's been quite a change from pre-pandemic, pandemic, and post-pandemic. So I think we're ready for a rebound, really. But the market is very selective. I see a lot of movement outside. We've been doing movements in outside of Metro Manila. NCR region has been really slow, although the small niche on the luxury market has been moving, but that's very small, right? Prices have corrected, terms and have been so flexible now. I see a drive on a lot of logistics related, we call it industrial movement. Tarlac remains to be still not in the radar of most, but it's very promising. A lot of investments are really going to be happening there because it's Clark Green City. Batangas is very strong, given that there's a very good mandate by Governor Mandanas. I see a lot of movement on the older condominiums in Salcedo, Legazpi, where the values are there, where you can get the yields.
Yeah, so it hasn't really dropped much in those areas.
It did drop. It actually did drop, or it hasn't really gone up, but there was hardly any movement. But now people are realizing, hey, I can get a 3 times the floor area in Legazpi Salcedo compared to BGC.
Exactly.
So your yields, because I saw your blog one time and you mentioned about yields. So that's where the yields are going to be.
Yeah, in these high-end areas. Yeah.
Right. And plus the zonal values are still low. I mean, I always tell my clients, if you don't need to sell, don't sell,
Right.
But it's just so much availability. Where, we have a oversupply crisis, really.
Right.
But we are not in a financial crisis at all.
Right.
There's a lot of sales being done below zonal values,
Right.
and you just got to watch out for it.
Those are the opportunities I would be looking out for.
Definitely. So.
Yeah. A couple of good talks here today. One in particular by Joey from Colliers. He talked about the vacancy rates and the oversupply. Apparently, the biggest market for oversupply is in the Bay Area, where somewhere around close to 27-28%, where all the POGOs have left. The second biggest supply is in BGC, which is around 17 or 18%. The least amount of vacancies and supply is in Makati, and I thought that was really interesting. So I was wondering, what was the big difference between Makati and BGC? The reason being is because people don't realize the release and turnover of all these new condominiums have just recently happened in BGC and the Bay Area, whereas Makati has been a very mature market. There's not many new developments there anymore. So I learned there's about 75,000 units of oversupply. However, developers are wise enough to start turning off the new development, so we should see less and less development in the near future. That 75,000 of supplies is expected to be absorbed over the next 70 months. So it'll take about 5 or 6 years to absorb those inventory and for the market to basically stabilize. So office vacancy is as high as it's ever been before. It's approximately about 20%. It's going to take the longest amount of time for any segment to completely stabilize. I think it's going to be a while before the office markets really recover. However, on the residential side, because of all the supply, developers are becoming more and more creative in terms of flexible payment terms. So new buyers can come in and get into a brand new house for as little as 2% of the total cost with bank financing. So imagine that nowadays, without a large down payment, you can get into a brand new condominium.
So we're seeing a lot of corrections right now, especially for the mid-income segment.
Right.
So 3.6 to 12 million pesos per unit. So I think right now, what developers really need to do, especially for the RFO, the completed units already, is to lower their prices and provide a lot of flexible payment terms, because that's the only way they can stoke demand in the market, especially in Metro Manila. You saw my slide earlier, there's still sizable amount right now yet to be sold in the market.
Absolutely, and it's incredible because it's almost like this rent-to-own scheme is almost true. It was never true before. It wasn't really such a thing before.
That's correct.
But now you can get into a brand new condominium for as little as you mentioned earlier as 2% of the price of the property.
Some even only requiring bank approval.
Okay.
And then no hefty down payment, and you can already move in. So these are the terms that we're seeing. Out of this unsold condominium inventory, 27,000 are ready for occupancy already. And that's pretty hefty sum. 150 billion pesos worth of unsold condominium in Metro Manila. Metro Manila is flooded, no pun intended, but with all these unsold condos.
We've asked a lot of people this, and there's been a lot of talks about this. What do you think is the next BGC? We talked about the Bulacan Airport, New Clark City, New Batangas, so forth. Where's the next BGC?
I'll be a little biased here. I'm from Pampanga. So I think that, well, not exactly in Pampanga, but the New Clark City in Capas, Tarlac, that being also dominated by Kamapangans. I think that's a very good location to watch out for. Why? Because we're not just talking about office buildings, hotels, condominium, foreign brands that are gravitating towards New Clark City, but even industrial corridors, industrial parks, warehouses that are being built there. Of course, once these are up and running, they'll be requiring massive number of residential units. So you now see this master plan community thriving, moving forward. So this is one location we need to watch out for. And I would even say not just Capas, not just Pampanga, but that central Luzon corridor.
Yeah, the MLS here is quite different. We're not as transparent as the one in the US. So like you could know who was the former owner, or other other layers of ownership, and how much it was sold. MLS is more of keeping the information available for brokers and salespersons.
Oh, so information of the owners of the properties, or what is
of
it?
Just the property on sale or on lease. Yeah.
What do you think about the real estate professionalism in this country?
Needs a lot of improvement.
What would you improve about it?
Maybe like a centralization of listings.
Database.
Maybe.
Central database.
Yeah,
Verified listings, MLS, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, just to make it, accessible,
easier,
organized, and to make sure also that the brokers that are practicing are all licensed.
Alex, tell us what this conference is about.
It's just a general membership meeting for our brokers in Taguig Real Estate Board. So we're all licensed or accredited brokers. So it's nice to have John and his team here. Just to encourage everyone, if you get into any real estate deal, to work with licensed or accredited brokers and salespersons.
Are we going to talk about where the next big investment in 2025?
2025, anywhere in Luzon outside of Metro Manila, that's where the growth is, whether it's in the south, in the north, or in central Luzon.
So it's actually an organization for brokers and real estate salespersons.
Okay.
So our goal is to educate the brokers and salespersons so that they can help clients serve better. Integrity. Of course, when you know people, you're more familiar with people, there's more trust. So the transactions are also faster.
Absolutely.
So we organize these types of events for people to meet and people to learn. So like today's event is about education.
What is the biggest problem with real estate professionals in the Philippines?
I think there's no standards. That's unlike, let's say, I think you're from the US.
Yeah.
So in the US, it's say everything's exclusive. There's a time frame. Here, it's non-exclusive. I call it like the Wild West. There are no rules except that the ones that you follow. So like we try to follow the strictest rule so that like how would you want to be treated, and it's how you treat other people.
So that's it, guys. It's always great coming to these events. It's good to always kind of hear from the developers, industry professionals, and other research analysts about what's going on in the market. It's always good to kind of stay up to date. Let us know if you don't agree with what the experts are saying. Leave a comment and let us know.